Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. I have an article from Android Police. The link for the article can be found down below for you in the description. The headline here is T-Mobile's aggressive spectrum shopping spree is finally paying off. So what are we talking about? Well, by this headline, you'd probably guess that, has something to do with T-Mobile buying a bunch of spectrum, and you would be correct. T-Mobile has been pretty much getting their hands on as much spectrum as possible. So much that many are questioning how it's even allowed and wondering why the FCC hasn't put a stop to it already. Now, I've done a number of coverings on this. I've done some polls regarding it. I've done many, I've discussed it in many videos when it comes to T-Mobile purchasing more spectrum. There's a bunch of more companies that they are trying to invest in. Of course, US Cellular being one of the biggest ones. That's going to be a massive boost of spectrum rush for T-Mobile's network, allowing them to really focus on reaching more customers as far as their 5G home internet and wireless 5G services are going to be considered. Now, that is the purpose of why T-Mobile wants to apparently buy all of this spectrum. They need it. They need to reach more customers. Even though these are expensive purchases, it'll be a lot quicker and a lot more affordable, I think, for them to do it this way than trying to build it themselves. It'll take much longer, and they really just kind of want to get out there. They're trying to win the rat race as far as 5G is concerned. They really want to be top dog. They've said it a number of times. They want to be the largest wireless carrier that they can be, and that's competing in the race, right? So it's T-Mobile right now, then it's Verizon, I think, is number 2, and then at&t number 3. But at&t is taking their time. They're not really focused on being the biggest when it comes to 5G anymore. They've let that go a long time ago. They're more focused on, building a strong network, slow and steady, but also building high quality fiber. That's really where their money is right now. That's where their focus is. And they're still doing the 5G, wireless build outs, but again, slower pace. So T-Mobile, exact opposite, right? They're looking to basically just continue to grow all sides of their company. Wireless, fiber, right? They're starting to get more aggressive with fiber now, and 5G home internet, which is a big cash cow for them. But there's some kinks with all of this, right? The wireless 5G network has improved vastly, but there's still some work. Buying more spectrum, allowing them to reach the rural communities that they're still having some trouble with, will certainly benefit them. And the same thing, as far as 5G home internet, getting that out there to consumers that don't have fiber options, that want to use T-Mobile, that maybe already have a wireless 5G, line with them. Maybe they want to use T-Mobile's 5G home internet as well, so they can bundle up, save some money, shop with one company, whatever the reason may be. So that's what we're talking about here, saying that, T-Mobile has been spending tons of money, but it's finally paying off. The spectrum that they've purchased is going to good use. And we did an article about Ookla's test results not too long ago, about a week and a half ago, in comparison, as far as Verizon's performance and AT&T's performance. I think T-Mobile was in the lead at 87%. Verizon was at 83%, and T-Mobile 81%, putting T-Mobile, the lead once again in 5G as far as growth, performance, and all that other good stuff. But, it is debatable. Many people feel Ookla's not as good as they used to be. Some people think there's some fraud going on. Some of you have even said that you think T-Mobile's slipping them some money under the table. Listen, I don't work for Ookla. I can't verify whether or not that's true, but you can't, you never know, right? Like, take this with a grain of salt, right? These tests are just to kind of give us a little bit of an insight on how the, what the average performance of your favorite wireless carrier is doing based on customer input, customers that allow the tracking, that, rate their carrier, all that other good stuff. Not everyone participates, so not every result will be calculated, and each service uses a different type of algorithm, although it's very similar, but there's some differences in their algorithm and how it's judged and how things are measured. So if you use OpenSignal, they might say Verizon's in the lead today. Ookla will say T-Mobile. And, so take it with a grain of salt. Use it as a tool to kind of identify what network might work best on average. But at the end of the day, the root metrics and the real truth behind it is your daily usage. Your actual experience as a consumer is what really matters, because we all know that Ookla might say T-Mobile is the very best service out there, but many of us can't even make a call once we step into a building with T-Mobile. That's been T-Mobile's downfall, that real reliable coverage that we need, that small cell, just not there when T-Mobile, when we really want it from T-Mobile. And, it's a letdown. That's many of us have decided to leave T-Mobile home when we know we're going to someplace, we're going to be in a building all day. We keep it, but we may not pick that phone up as our first option, right? We may choose Verizon. We may choose AT&T. We'll keep T-Mobile with us. We'll keep all three with us, right? Because why not, right? We're paying for them. But, because of that issue that's known more of the time with T-Mobile than the other two carriers, is a problem, right? So this is what T-Mobile is trying to fix, these issues here. And it's gotten better. I got to be honest, it's gotten a lot better. For me, I still have weak service with them in my home. To be honest, none of them really work that good for me in the actual house. There's some kind of dead spots here, but T-Mobile is probably the least reliable in the home. AT&T and Verizon are more reliable. Verizon probably being the most reliable, AT&T being second, T-Mobile being third. And T-Mobile was very reliable until they started building out 5G. It just kind of went south. If I switch to LTE, T-Mobile works a lot better, but on 5G, not too good for me. So we're talking about how T-Mobile has grown over the years and how they've used their spectrum to basically make a stronger network. Now, many of you have noticed the boost in service, right? Once T-Mobile rolled out the Auction 108 spectrum, many people have been talking about how much better their coverage has been. So just a lot of good things going on with T-Mobile. It looks like even though they're spending a lot, it has been put to use, good use, making them a more stronger, reliable network. Now, if they purchase US Cellular, like I said, this is going to be huge. There's a couple of other companies that T-Mobile wants to buy. I think it's MetroNet, which is a small company, some strong presence, mostly in the South, some bigger city areas, part of the South. So, T-Mobile plans to use a lot of that to kind of build out fiber, make the fiber network a little stronger. They're going to do a little something, I think, for their 5G home network as well with that spectrum that they get. And then there's another company. These are small companies, so I can't remember the third one off the top of my head. I have to go back to my notes. But, a lot of things going on for T-Mobile, a lot of stuff to look forward to. Basically, we see that T-Mobile has pretty much been able to buy whatever they want. So I don't think the FCC will decline it. The FCC did send out they gave the consumers actually a chance to vote whether or not they want to see T-Mobile purchase US Cellular. And I don't know how that went, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some mixed reviews on that. It would be very interesting to see what the FCC has to say about that in regards. But I think that was a good idea. I think allowing the consumers to actually take a vote to voice their opinion on whether or not they want to see carriers be able to come in and buy other competitors, I think is a good idea. Don't just throw the book at T-Mobile, even though many feel like they should be shut down because they're greedy, they're selfish, they're ruining competition for others. Like I've said before, T-Mobile is making a proposition to a company. If that company is willing to accept it and there's no other buyers, I mean, what are they really doing wrong? If they can validate their reasons for purchasing the spectrum, it seems like all they want to do is build a stronger network. They're not really trying to end competition. They claim it'll help competition. Now, T-Mobile is not always the company to trust. They've lied about things. Their Sprint acquisition, things didn't work out exactly how they were supposed to. But at the same time, they did make a stronger network, right? They were the first to kind of advance in 5G. You can say that it isn't real 5G. Listen, they were ahead of the game when it's, in regards to the competition. And yeah, things had to be worked out. The network is still being worked out. It's not where it needs to be many years later, many millions and millions and probably even billions of dollars later. There's still a lot of work to be done. They knew it was going to be difficult. 5G was going to be a very, very expensive project. And, they're paying for it. That's why AT&T is kind of sitting it out, right? They have other plans. They're not that worried about it anymore. They'll get there when they'll get there. And it seems to be working. They're still growing customer-wise. So that's another thing. T-Mobile has actually done better in their earnings than we expected, right? I think they said they beat 9.12% and then 1.02% in earnings. So EPS was 9.12% and the revenue was 1.02%. So that's much more than expected, right? And, T-Mobile's been doing a lot of different things, right? They've been raising prices. I think they went back down on the prices a little, but they're still growing their customer base. People are coming. People are still interested. And I think it has a lot to do with the network growing. It has gotten better. As far as my testing has been concerned, I'm seeing more bars. I'm noticing, a little bit of a better quality experience. And, this could be the result of all the money that's being spent, the acquisitions. Maybe it is truly finally starting to pay off. So that's all I have for you. Like I said, link for the article down below. Just wanted to kind of talk about it. I know, like I said before, sometimes I go a little long with the videos, but it's because I have things to say. So I like to say them. I don't want to just read you 2 lines of an article and then drop the mic, right? I want to talk about it. And I may start making them even longer. Okay, so if you guys want that, let me know. Definitely, I might start going longer if necessary. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.